Hi. So we're going to continue today talking about serving others and what God says about it. After Jesus went back up into heaven, he had told the disciples, if you remember, we talked about that I think last week, to go and tell others about him. And he gave the disciples the Holy Spirit to help them do some of the jobs that he was doing here on earth. And so he wants us also to help others. And I want to read to you from 1 Peter 4, and I'm going to start with verse 8. I'm going to keep reading. Above all, keep loving one another earnestly, since love covers a multitude of sins. Show hospitality to one another without grumbling. As each of you have received a gift, use it to serve one another. Whoever speaks, as one who speaks for God. Whoever serves, serve by the strength that God supplies, in order that in everything God could be glorified. There's a lot in there. God tells us to serve others, to love others. And then he tells us, and he promised there, well, two things. He says, why should we do it? Do we do it to earn his love? No, because we can't do that. He just loves us just because he made us and because he chooses to. But he says here, do it so that God is glorified. So we serve others so that God gets the glory. And then here's the other best part about it. He says he will give us the strength to do it. He knows us so well. He knows that it's hard for us to put others first and to serve others with a good attitude. Because you notice he says, do it without grumbling. Yeah, I could clean my room and I could do it for him with a good attitude, or I could do it with a grumbling attitude, and then I don't think he's getting the glory in that, is he? No. So that's kind of a little step of what he wants to do, us to do. He used his disciples after he went back up into heaven to serve others, and he can use us. And I have a little example here, and I have 2 cups, and I want you to look carefully at my cups. And if I want to drink, take a good look at this cup, and I want you to take a good look at this cup. And these cups can be called vessels, but these cups are going to represent us. All right? And these cups, I want them to be useful and to serve me, right? Because I could get a nice drink of water. And so I'm going to start with this cup over here, and I want to see, is this cup useful? Oops, now if you see I made a mess because my pitcher was not useful, was it? That does not help me, so I'm going to take my lid off there. But you can see, and if you can look carefully into my cup, it's holding my water. All right. So this was a useful vessel. It was a useful cup. Now I'm going to take this cup, and what do you think? Just kind of looking at it there, do you think it's going to be a useful vessel or a useful cup? All right, let's see if I'm really thirsty. Oh no. Oh no, I gotta move all my papers, because what's happening there? Oh no, everything's leaking out of there. That's not a useful, I'm dropping everything too. That's not a useful vessel. You see, am I gonna be a useful vessel or not a useful vessel? And I have some cards here. And remember, God tells us to do things without grumbling, and we do it for him. Do you remember in class, one of our classroom rules came from a Bible verse that whatever we do, do it heartily as for the Lord. And he says, ask me for strength. Ask me for the ability to do it. So let me tell you, if I'm kind, am I being useful vessel? Am I going to be able to be used by God? Yep, I would put that one over here. What about if I'm selfish and I put myself first? I would say that's not being a useful vessel. How about honest? I hope these might be backwards for you. I'm not sure. So listen carefully to the words. How about caring? Yep, that would be a useful vessel. How about somebody who is humble? That would be a useful vessel. How about somebody who's being jealous? Can God use us when we're jealous? Mm-mm. How about if I'm thankful? Can God use me when I have a thankful attitude? Yes, God can use me when I'm thankful. So think about that. How are we going to put that into practice? Are there ways that you can be a useful vessel, a way that God can use you today to serve others? And when we're serving others, we're serving Him. And how are you going to ask Him for help to do that? Are you willing?